What if I told you that during World War II, the American military seriously considered launching guided missiles piloted by pigeons? Not drones, not robots, live birds. And somehow, it almost worked. This is the true story of Project Pigeon, one of history's strangest military experiments, where a brilliant psychologist taught feathered soldiers to become flying bombers. In the early 1940s, American bombers had a massive problem. Pilots had to fly dangerously close to enemy ships to hit them accurately. Many never came back. The solution seemed impossible until psychologist B.F. Skinner had an unconventional idea. He'd been observing pigeons flying alongside a train when inspiration struck. These birds have extraordinary vision and incredible balance in flight. Why not use them to guide missiles? Here's how it worked. Skinner trained pigeons using operant conditioning, essentially reward and punishment. He showed them images of enemy targets, ships, military installations, and trained them to peck when they recognized them. The system rewarded correct behavior with food. Simple, brilliant, controversial. The military gave Skinner $25,000 in funding. He built something called the Pelican, a missile nose cone containing 3 individual compartments. Each held a pigeon facing a screen that displayed what the missile's camera saw in real time. When a pigeon spotted the target and pecked, cables attached to its head would mechanically steer the missile in that direction. 3 pigeons meant voting. If 2 agreed, the missile would turn. Here's what amazed everyone. The pigeons worked! In stress tests simulating actual combat conditions, loud explosions, intense G-forces, extreme temperatures, pressure changes, the birds maintained accuracy rates up to 90%. They never flinched. They never quit. Even 6 years after training ended, they remembered everything. But here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say out loud. There was no escape hatch. These weren't suicide missions. They were execution missions. Every pigeon was guaranteed to die with its target. Skinner saw them as expendable, more expendable than human soldiers. To him, that was the whole point. Think about that. We had the technology, the training worked perfectly, but something deeper stopped us. Psychological, ethical. Even in wartime, military leaders couldn't quite accept launching thousands of kamikaze pigeons at enemy positions. It felt wrong, even if it was effective. Maybe that tells us something about what separates civilized warfare from pure function. Maybe it reveals our limits. Interestingly, Skinner's work didn't vanish. After the war, the Navy revived it as Project Orcon, Organic Control, using even more advanced technology with gold electrodes on beaks instead of head harnesses. But the fundamental problem remained. Humans couldn't commit to it. Project Pigeon was officially abandoned in 1944, then again in 1953 when Orcon ended. But the legacy persisted. Skinner's understanding of behavior control and animal cognition revolutionized psychology. His teaching machines, developed from this research, became models for programmed learning. He proved that animals could execute complex precision tasks, knowledge that influenced everything from animal training to early artificial intelligence research. The project also quietly influenced radar technology and targeting systems. Some historians argue that Skinner's pigeon guidance paradoxically accelerated development of mechanical and electronic control systems. Humans needed alternatives. They needed to replace the birds. So Project Pigeon raises an unsettling question. Just because we can do something doesn't mean we will. These birds could have changed warfare, could have saved pilot lives. Instead, they became a footnote, a reminder that even in humanity's darkest hours, something inside us hesitates before crossing certain lines. The pigeons never flew their final missions.
But their story continues to fly through history, challenging us to think about the intersection of science, ethics, and warfare. What do you think? Should it have happened? Let me know in the comments.